Yo, so what's Big Boy's name? Can y'all hear me pretty good? I'm trying out some new stuff. Trying out some new stuff. Guillermo finally convinced me to get some new things. I had them for a while. I just hadn't tested them. Right. So it's official. I'm testing out the new stuff. Right. Let me see. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? I don't know if y'all can hear me, but your man's look good in the camera. Oh boy, we done got started. Sharon Robinson is in the building. What's good? What is good? What's good? What's good? Hey, so I point that I want to make with everybody, and so when y'all hear it, let's get. Look who is in the building. It's my guy Legion of Knicks podcast. What's good? What is good? Hector Beauchamp is in the building. What's good? What's good, Hector? Yo, RL is in the building. What's good? RL, lead singer Knicks. What's good with you? What's good? I got a point that I wanted to get to, and I think y'all gonna try to chop me up tonight, but I don't care. Yeah, hit them likes, man. Hey, my man Legion of Knicks podcast is like 70 likes away from 1,000. Man, we need like 90 likes or subscriptions on his channel. We need like 90 subs on his channel, man. Yo, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Legion of Knicks podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe to Lawrence Tier. Hey, so I got a point that I want to get to, and I know y'all gonna eat me alive, right? Right? Hey, Greenhouse, thank you for subscribing. That's what's up. Ronnie Montier, what's good? What's good with you? What is good? Hit them likes. Subscribe to the channel. Hey, I got a new camera, so I'm trying to figure out where to look and stuff. So y'all be with me. I'm trying to figure out how to best produce content and all that stuff. So yeah, man. Hey, Legion of Knicks, I'm gonna need you in here for a second because I think my back is gonna be up against the wall, and I might need some help, right? Because I'm gonna say some things and people are gonna be mad, and you know I don't care, but y'all know how it is. So let me bring my man in here just real quick because I just got finished watching his joint like a couple hours ago. It was dope. It was that dude fresh. Oh, we need to get Lawrence Tears up. So I looked at the YouTube analytics, and so the YouTube analytics is like people basically to sum it up, people come and they stay for a long time, and they hit the like button. They even search for us. They search for Knicks at Night podcast. I'm the number one searched content creator aside from a couple people. So I guess it don't mean I'm number one. I guess it mean I'm like third. But people search for us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about me. It's about everybody. You know what I'm saying? So let me get my guy in here. I'm a little choppy. Am I a little choppy to you, Legion of Nick?
Yeah, you're a little choppy, man. Yep, I can't even. I don't even know what you just said. Like it all blocked out. It's like choppy as hell.
Hold on. I may be having a sound issue. Having a sound check issue.
Maximum.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Still a little choppy though. Do you have your Ethernet cord?
I can't hear y'all. Hold on. Man, y'all telling me I'm gonna have to go back to the old joint?
Might have to, man. He's just a little. Yep, he's got choppy. Oh. Are we the only people on now? Oh,
yeah.
Controlling Big Freezy's podcast, man.
Ready to get a new camera?
Salute everybody. Hit them likes as you come in. We got
hit them likes up, people.
16 people watching, 15 likes. That's good, man. That's good. That's 17, 15. So 2 of you guys just came in, man. Bodega Wi-Fi. Hit them like, bro. Or hit that like. How Bodega Wi-Fi does, man. Hit that like, bro.
Well, boy, it's going to be an interesting next couple of days. There's definitely going to be a trade.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting next couple of days because there's definitely going to be a trade.
Dude, man, I don't know what the hell's going.
They're doing something. There's something. I think the Westbrook thing's on the table too because they've done up the mat, and they can still take on his contract once they move Randall and possibly DSJ.
Right, they'll definitely move Randall for Westbrook, but I think everything's depending on what they do with Harden, right? I think they're still trying to convince Harden to somehow stay, even though $100 million, for 2 years. I mean,
yeah, you're not going to get any better than that.
Here's what I get so mad about. It's like, Harden, you had your own team to do whatever the hell you wanted to. You could have brought on any coach you wanted to, or any coach that's available. You could have brought on. You had CP3, who I thought was excellent for you. That first year you guys played, I thought that was great for your game. And then you don't want, you want to just tag along with your other friends to do what?
Yeah, so you're gonna have the Rockets. You're gonna be like, I want this, I want that, and they go out and spend all this money, use all this draft capital, and then he's like, do you know what? I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm like,
dog, I would be so. This is why I was so pissed with Harden. Yo, Teddy, what up? Where the hell's Freezy?
What's up, Joe?
What's happening, buddy? How we doing?
Hey, Freezy, man, where the hell you at, bro?
You know what? I think you're right about them setting up another trade because
they have to. They have a 16-man roster. They got all these assets. They're doing something.
2023s. You flip Ed Davis, which I basically do for 3 second rounders.
Yeah, and then two young assets too.
And 2 young players. And I'll give. I haven't watched much of Evans. Who's the other guy from Villanova?
Omari Spellman.
Omari Spellman. I'll give Omari Spellman a chance just because he can space out the floor a little bit, right? He shot like 38 or 36, 38, something like that.
He's not bad, and he's only 23.
Yeah. 2.2 attempts per game. I mean, dogs. When we talk about big men spacing the floor, at least coming in a game for a guy like Mitchell Robinson and showing and provide a different front court element where we can actually space the floor.
And he can play. He plays the 5 too.
Right.
So you can have rotations where you're gonna have him and Obi on the floor together. Yep. So you have 2 shooting big men.
Hey, speaking of Obi, I just found out that Miles Powell is his best friend.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And Kevin Knox in that group.
Who cares? Let's go back to Miles. Who cares?
Kevin Knox.
Look at Freezy just got something. I thought you were a Knox fan, Freezy. Why do you care about bum ass?
I got this thing. I got this thing I want to tell everybody about. Right. So I'm gonna just go through and just mute just for like 30 seconds. I just want to get it out, and then I just want to hear everybody take on it. Right. So this ain't even disrespectful. I just want 30 seconds to myself. Right. So I'm gonna just do this real quick for everybody, and here we go. Yo, I think the front office has duped the entire league, right? And this is how. I think they legit built a new core of youngsters right in front of us, right? These young we assembled as like the new core for this front office going forward. The only thing that we're missing is a point guard, and he felt like the point guard of the future that they want was not available, right? So the new core of youngsters, the New York Knicks core is this: Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Manny Q, Emmanuel Quigley, whatever. Jacob Love, Amari Spellman, Kevin Knox, right? And notice, 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 I did not say what happened.
While he's getting his stuff together, I think that the direction of this team, I think he's about to say something important about, the new core and the direction of this team. And I really like the direction of the team, honestly.
Yeah.
I like everything that we're orchestrating. I like how who can get 3 picks out of Ed Davis? Let's just be honest. Who's doing that?
Hold on. Hey, let me finish. I want to finish my thing because I think it's something more so than, hey, why is it not? Okay.
Did you fix your mic, Freezy?
Yeah, your mic. Yeah, you're better now. Yeah, you're better now.
Okay. All right. So what happened was I got booted from the thing. I don't know why, but technology is a biatch. But you know what? The reason why I say that is this. I legit think they had a plan. Like they saw the young core as it was last year and the year before, right? And so they saw that waiting on Frank Ntilikina is a bad investment, right? They saw waiting on DSJ is like fool's gold, like the flash in the pan. Like you legit want to, you hope he turns into something, but you can't wait because it's the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So they go out and establish a young core of RJ, Mitch, Obi, Manny Q, Spellman, Jacob Love, and Knox, knowing that going forward, they can add a point guard or two of the future. But right now, they have all the if y'all notice, they have all the positions locked down except for point guard, right? And you can question the small forward position, but in today's NBA, I think it's easier to find a 3-and-D wing, small forward, whatever your style of play. It'll be easier to find that guy as opposed to finding a point guard. And so by establishing a position where they can get all the background singers in place before they get the lead singer, I think it's smart, especially in a down market. Now y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
I want to cut my head off.
What this kind of tells me with all the guards they got, that more or less are just being moved to the 3. That kind of puts that. I think it's going to be Frank and it's going to be Rivers at the backcourt, and then are just going to the 3 as of now. But we have to wait and see. There's a trade coming.
You legit just said I'm going to move RJ Barrett to a new position because of Frank Ntilikina.
No. But what I'm saying is because they brought this guards in, RJ's a 3. He played 3 in college. The Knicks were playing him out of position this year. He can play the 2, but he's naturally a 3. So they're going to put
what tells you RJ Barrett was out of position?
Because he played it.
He's not quick enough for the 2, and he doesn't shoot well enough for the 2. But as a 3, he can play a little bit slower, right? He has a body. He has a
length.
He kind of drive and slash, right? The 2, you want a better shooter or a really good athlete who kind of create shots, and he can't really do so. I think when you saw, like, at the end of the season when they ran a lot more pick and roll for him, you saw like he played a lot better. There's a little more fluid, I guess, in the offense. At the 2, sometimes just felt a little bit clunky. He's not good off the ball shooting yet. And you want your 2 to be that.
I would argue that RJ Barrett was the best rookie 2 guard out of this class before he got hurt. Numbers, statistics. Y'all can say that all y'all want, but y'all don't back up stuff with data. Y'all say
no, but you're talking about numbers wise. We're not necessarily talking about numbers wise, right? Because he ranked in last percentiles in many categories. I'm on the RJ train. But what you're saying points. That doesn't necessarily mean he was in the right position. That just means that he scored a lot of points amongst a lot of rookies, and that changes from class to class. Now, if you compare it to everyone else, those numbers are going to moderate, right? Now, if he was great at that position, obviously his numbers would be a lot better than everyone else's, or it'd rank in a higher percentile, but it doesn't. He ranked in a lower percentile for a lot of his numbers when you compare him to all NBA players. And again, I'm on the RJ train. I'm just saying.
Right. Bottom line numbers. See, that's what I'm saying. So if we look at the bottom line numbers, we'll say RJ Barrett was not a good shooter. But if we look at the splits, right? If we look at the splits, when RJ Barrett was healthy, RJ Barrett shot 1 month of 40%. 1 month of 35%, 1 month of 35%, and then a month of 35%. And then if you include the month that he was hurt, he shot in the 20s. In the 6-week stretch where he was hurt, he shot in the 20s from 3, right? And so we use that number, that anchor, to anchor his numbers down to whatever it was he shot from 3. To me, it's not a fair assessment because you say at the end of the season when they started using more pick and roll, it's also coinciding when RJ Barrett got healthy.
And let me ask you something. I like what you're saying. I'm
not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying I'm Guillermo's argument is because you can look at on the one hand what he's saying is accurate, but what I'm saying is you also have to look at what came along with, like he legit got healthy right at the All-Star weekend, right? Went to All-Star weekend and outshined everybody, all the rookies, won the All-Star game MVP for the rookies, right? And I know they don't play D. I know that. But what I'm saying is you can at least, even if you look into what he may have potential to do, then you can see the upside.
But it's not the 2 though. It doesn't matter about your points in the production, right? If it's not fitting to that position, which is a 2, again, you're playing out position, and for what he did, again, I'm giving him credence. There are people out there say that he sucked on us. I don't believe that, right? But again, at the 2, he's not that. You have to be a good shooter at the 2. You're playing the guys who are defending you are guards who are quick enough to catch up to. Typically, are quick enough to catch up to you off ball when you're trying to catch a ball off ball and shoot. You know what I mean? He's just that. Again, that's just not. He's not good at that yet, and he's probably better at the 3, which is fine.
And I want Knicks fans to understand that he didn't play a whole rookie season either. Like it's kind of like it's unfair. He didn't get to play a whole season as well.
He got a cut.
Right. Yeah. Right. On his uptick when he was averaging 18 points a game, the season was cut off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what if Ja Morant had a high ankle sprain? Will we still have the same conversation about Ja Morant? No.
But Ja Morant's always played at the 1 though, and everyone knows he's a 1. We're not talking about RJ Barrett's value, his production. We're literally talking about
his position.
That's positioning. And
it's kind of
Ja Morant gets hurt. I'm not saying damn Ja Morant should be a 2. It's like you saw him in college. Ja Morant was an exceptional 1. He comes back. He's still going to stay a 1 because he's that type of player. RJ Barrett played the 3 in college. Plays better as a 3. That's fine. They played him out of position, but he's not a 2, and that's perfectly fine. Like again, you're putting up stats to say that he's valuable at a position. Again, the Knicks did not have a good team, so that may have also been look. You could produce, but again, if we had a 2 who could shoot, maybe our offense would be a lot more open up. Again, the Knicks ranked 27th in 3-point shooting. And RJ is a big reason of that. He just wasn't a good shooter the whole season. Now, there are splits that say, hey, when he came back from injury, when he hired that coach, whatever, he got
before injury, he was shooting. Before injury, he was shooting 35% from 3, right? But his field goal numbers were terrible. So that if he could do this long term, because he was shooting like 45% from the free throw line, right? So
when he came back, remember he came back from like an ankle injury or something. He started wearing that stupid headband. And he, like for a few games, he was averaging like high 30s, low 40s from three. So again, I'm not issuing on him, but think about this. When we think about RJ Barrett, let's take ourselves out of the isolation of how good he is. Let's look at the team as a whole. If we had a better two who could shoot the ball, right, would we be a better team? Would RJ be a better player? Because that means RJ would have better space and drive to the basket. We wouldn't have to depend on him to shoot shots and force him to shoot shots because, damn, we need somebody to shoot shots. You probably have a lot more assists, a lot more synergy in terms of passing facilitation because you have somebody who can split out to the corner, split out around the wings, go around screens and whatnot, and make those shots. So again, RJ Barrett is not this doesn't work at a two. Put him at the three, get a legit shooter, and this offense, and he'll benefit from it. Think about
why wouldn't you just get a legit shooter at the three? Why can't we just get a guy that's legit 3 and D to play with in between RJ and Obi Toppin?
To play at the three?
Yeah, I kind of figured the 2 and the 3 is kind of positionless too. Like, I
kind of think it depends. It honestly, got it depends. Because you also want your. It depends, right? You can have a two who could be more of a combo guard that switches with your one, but typically you want somebody who can make those shots, and the Knicks do not have someone at that 2 or the 3 position who can really make shots, right? So essentially, you want that. Now you can have a guy who can be quick, but again, you're playing against other guards typically who are. When they're defending you, they're typically fast enough to be in your face. You know what I mean? And some of it's small. In many places they're positionless, in many places they really aren't positionless. I think I just use that because it's like, the Warriors, whatever. Oh, positions, like everyone's not positionless. There are places where they still have a prototypical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And well, 4 is kind of weird. 4 is kind of dead in terms of post up and all that stuff. But again, why not have a 2 who could shoot, space out the floor? And it's quick enough to get off his shot off the away from the ball, off the ball, right? To pose as a threat and get attention away from RJ. You know what I mean?
Right, but I think when you do that, you take away one of his clear advantages. Like say for instance, when you play RJ at the 3, now he's guarded by a 3. Now he can't muscle, or maybe he could still do it because if you saw PJ Tucker bounce on him like a tennis ball.
Yeah, he did for that last.
You know what I'm saying? But
I have no left. I was trying to.
But the thing with RJ and he struggled some with the Euro in the paint this past season, coming off the ankle sprain. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the other things too. Like we make this deal like RJ is a finished product, and when you have when you see certain things happen, we project what his future will be, and while my man was hurt. Yeah, I just think if we look at the position for what it is nowadays, he is a humongous guard, like a jumbo guard, right? And so it would make sense to move him to the 3 to bring in your traditional guard, right? But in our system, our advantage was RJ playing a jumbo guard. You taking in ISO, taking smaller guards, wings, and power forwards to the basket. You know what I'm saying? That's his deal. You know what I'm saying? Because because people think he's huge, but he's 6. What did they list RG at? 6'7", 6'5"? I mean 6'6", 213.
6'6", 215. I think he got bigger too over the break.
Right, and I saw a thing on NBA.com that had Kevin Knox at 6'7", 215. Right?
Yeah. Kevin Knox.
So one guy you think is huge, and the other guy you think is a rail. And I mean, it just in a common argument. You know what I mean?
Now it's got the Kevin Durant syndrome. But
what's that? Wait, what's the Kevin Durant syndrome? I want to hear this.
Tall and skinny. He can't put on weight.
Not getting weight.
Okay, keep it at that because he ain't.
I'm not like Kevin Durant.
So here's the thing I want to sell to. Here's the thing I want to sell to Joe Madden because I think he's gonna lose his mind when he hit us. Right? I think Manny Q is gonna be comparable to Eric Gordon. You know what I'm saying? Without injuries. Like you see all the traits there. You have
Eric Gordon,
elite shooter. Yep, an elite shooter in college, an elite defender. So somebody that's not going to be a playmaker. Play at 6'3", playmaking ain't his thing. But if you somebody,
who did you say? I'm sorry. Who the play? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Emmanuel Quickly.
Man, quickly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Emmanuel Quickly and Eric
I want to
Gordon.
get in on this too because there's one thing. There's one thing that's a big difference between those two. I'm gonna say it after Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Wildcat.
I could compare them because the two of them have the same type of skills. Both of them can shoot, and if Quickly turns out to be like Eric Gordon, we'd be happy, especially for a 25.
Eric Gordon had really good, when he got drafted by the Hornets, and he went to the Clippers.
He went to Indiana. He went to college in Indiana, and when he got,
they got drafted by the Hornets, right? And he went to the Clippers.
He was at the Hornets, then he went to the Clippers, and then he went to Houston.
And I remember Eric Gordon, but he had a bunch of annoying injuries. I think.
Yeah, I was about to say before he got injured, he was the man.
Dude, yes. So I'm looking at that Clippers year. Yup, 2010, 2011. This dude, I'm telling you, driving to the basket.
That's
he kind of like dribble high and like cross it really quick, like to his leg.
Right.
But it was effective, and he was a do-it-all guard. I don't know if Emmanuel Quickly's there. Like,
Nah.
Everybody has to start from somewhere, though.
Yeah.
Everybody has to have a starting.
Freezy, why you do this, man? Come on, Freezy.
He right now. I get what you're trying to do though. He shoots like I can see him shooting like, but that's it.
Yeah, that's about it, bro.
My only difference is when, and I'm sorry for cutting y'all off. I just want to get these points out there so we can talk about them as we go forward. But the only difference is I would say that Eric Gordon is more of a has more of a killer instinct than this kid does, but we don't know what this kid's killer instinct is yet. But Emmanuel Quickly is probably a better defender. Now, the rumor out of Kentucky is the janitors are like, "Yo, kid, you got to go home. You can't stay in this gym." You know what I'm saying? All night long. You know what I'm saying? And the coaches are like people are like telling the coaches like, "Dude, as long as the lights on, this dude's in the gym." And so they're like, hey, a part of your development is rest. And so he was like, he didn't know that. And so like the coaches at Kentucky is like, this dude legit has the work ethic of a Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love to hear that.
Yeah. So I'm not saying he's Kawhi Leonard. I'm saying that he's probably a shot right version of Eric Gordon that we got in the late first round. But I also wanted to point out the kid Jacob Love. I think we're sleeping on him.
Who?
And
Jacob Evans.
Jacob Evans.
Jacob Evans. Yeah, Jacob Evans. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jacob Evans. I think
I know all about him.
Yeah, to me, I found watching Golden State games, this kid is a bulldog, and he don't fear anybody.
He's a good shooter. He's a solid shooter too. His numbers don't show it because he never got really a lot of playing time. And I don't think he even played with the Timberwolves at all when he got traded over in that D'Angelo. The same way to Amari Spellman. Them two guys, young, and that's why I think Spellman coming in is more or less is the answer of us saying that Randall's going to be moved. Because Spellman's going to be the backup 4. Yeah. He can play the 5. He can stretch the floor.
Yeah,
we got basically what we turned Ed Davis into is 2 young talents and 3 second-round picks. That's business. Like that.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's unheard of.
That's right. Now get somebody for the damn point guard position.
Yeah, that's all we're weak at is the point guard. But the problem is now, what's going to happen? Are we going to be playing Rivers at the 1? Or is Rivers going to be the 2? Is he going to be off the bench?
Well, let's finish with the young core first. Let me finish with the young core thing before we get on the veteran. Okay. So that tells me. So that sends alarms to everybody. That follows the Knicks, that if this is our new young core, this is 6 kids, right? RJ, Mitch, Obi, Manny, Spellman, Evans. So if we look to develop them, now you have people on the outside looking in, like Kevin Knox, right? Frank Ntilikina, the young kid from Seton Hall, Miles Powell, right? So now you have all these kids on the outside looking in. But the chemistry between Miles Powell, Kevin Knox, and Obi Toppin is something that you have to take into account. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Miles Powell was an undrafted free agent, and the first thing he did was say, "Hey, man, listen, I'm signing with the Knicks. That's what I'm doing."
Mm-hmm. And he's from Newark, right? He's friends with Obi, and I think he grew up in Newark.
They was in draft day together, like everything,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's one of them deals now where it's what do we do with Kevin Knox, DSJ, and Frank Ntilikina? Are they still a part of the young core?
I think DSJ is going to be moved because he's the when you look at it, he's the odd man out. Frank is elite skill. He plays defense. You wouldn't Peyton. The only move that's made to me that puzzles me is Peyton. The Rivers move, I get it because he can play make a little bit. He's a scoring guard. To me, the Peyton move puzzles me.
But you know what? I don't think they knew they was going to sign Austin. Like I think that came late after the signing of Peyton.
Yeah.
Austin was cool.
They should have waited on Peyton.
Two not guaranteed. Gotcha. Like it was one of those situations where, and they got him for the cheap. So what I'm thinking is that Peyton's going to be.
Hey, I ain't trying to be disrespect, but I want to be like, how do y'all feel about this young core that was assembled and the future going forward with all these draft picks?
I love it because I said this on the Legion of Knicks earlier that for the first time, it is literally a battle royal in training camp. Best come best. You know what I mean? Bring your best, and you'll get the starting position. I think Randall. RJ and Mitch are guaranteed starting positions, right?
Obi too, I think.
Randall's going to get. Look, it would literally blow my mind. Randall and DSJ are still on this team at the start of the season. It would literally blow my mind.
DSJ, I could say. See, I wouldn't be too. Randall to me is the odd man out. Randall, you can't start Randall
right now. Who would you put in that package for Randall right now?
To be honest, I still think the Westbrook package is still on the table. I think they're more or less waiting to see what happens with Harden. That's what the Knicks.
You see how we put a subject out there, and they just still we still acquiesce to wanting to talk about Julius Randle and Frank.
Okay, no.
You legit put a topic.
Let's get back to
that. But I'm saying, and not that what you saying, right? What I'm saying is, so how do y'all feel about Miles Powell and his future with the Knicks? Is he just a G Leaguer? I mean, I know the G League won't be here, but I'm saying, do you think he's a legit piece?
Yes, he's a legit piece to make sure Obi comes in on time.
No, he's an option. Look, he's at best he'll be an option off the bench. To be a scoring option from the guard position, which you need in your second units. I mean, he's going to come in and provide a different element, right? If you're going to start with guys like Peyton, Frank, at the one, he comes in second unit as more of a scoring option from the point guard position, which could throw teams off or they just provide a different look. That's it. All this stuff about their best friends, which is great and all, which is not a bad thing at all. I mean, look, there have been guys that have been best friends on teams. Steven Jackson was best friends with Ron Artest, and look what happened with the Mouse on the Palace. You know what I mean? So let's just see what happens. I think, basketball wise, he's a guy who can penetrate, even though he's not the quickest or fastest. He doesn't have the nicest moves, but he does have a nice little kick with the glass move. He's really good in terms of like making that basket. Like when he's driving, maybe a little bit, his body leverage is a little bit off, but he knows how to just kiss it off the glass perfectly. He's one of those type of players can shoot ball off the ball. 22.8 of his possessions were like off the ball. This is a guy who was basically the star of the team. So, he's like not Energizer Bunny, but he's like
Alonzo Trier.
Right. Essentially, he could be Alonzo Trier with less of a tunnel vision.
Right, and less drama, less off-court drama.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I said I brought that up because I feel like we're in a legit conundrum going forward, because if we have a young core, like I read out to everybody, and whether RJ plays the three or not is probably not even, and whether Manny gets a lot of minutes this season is not really a big deal. I think the biggest question that we face is how many minutes do we get Obi Toppin at the position that he will play going forward? Not at center, not at small forward, but as that stretch four in a brand new coach's offense.
Yeah, he's going to be playing 30 plus.
It depends if we're actually in the Westbrook sweepstakes. depending on who leaves. It looks like it's going to be Randall. It looks like it's going to be Jordan Evans. It looks like it's going to be like we picked up some pieces for trade pieces. To be totally honest,
Well, Evans is a 3, isn't he? A 3. He plays the 2 and the 3, right?
yeah, he just doesn't fit. I mean, we have Iggy, we have Knox, we have. I mean,
Alec Evans is 6'4", 210, right?
Yeah, I'll say he's a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a log jam. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a trade.
He's a trade piece.
Yeah, he's a trade piece. Spellman will be here. Spellman is going to back up over.
We traded Ed Davis for Spellman for real. Evans was just an add-on. I feel.
Yeah.
I
Right.
love to see us get Spellman. I love to see us like add a different element on the team with Spellman on the court. Because I want a big man. I know we had KP, but I love to see a big man who could space the floor, and how he would play with a guy like Obi. How would he would play with some of our point guards? Because I think one thing that we struggle with, well, our point guards who aren't, what we have right now, right? We talk about Frank and his lack of penetration. We talk about DSJ's lack of IQ penetrating.
Right.
I would love to see if we could have a point guard that could work with a guy who could run a pick and pop. Right, or if you had a Spellman and a RJ and a Mitch, and you essentially had one running to the hoop or staying down low, and the other one kind of splitting out after the pick. I'd be really interested to see if that would get our point guards a lot more looks, a lot more facilitating looks.
Right.
Ease the pressure off of them when they drive, since they're not. Frank is not the quickest, DSJ is not the smartest, and he can't shoot well either, DSJ. So. Yeah, I like to see Spellman as a.
So who do you think? And Messiah Mack is right on, spot on. First of all, Spellman is tough at 245. You know what I'm saying? And he can shoot, and not in a bail you out in a shot clock situation. He is like, okay. So on the high end, if you look at Spellman on the high end, he's probably a David West type that can move it out, maybe to the 3-point line, maybe shoot the 3. On the low end, he's a Bobby Portis. Like, what are you doing taking that shot right there, Bobby? You know what I'm saying?
No, but he can hit open shots a little bit better than Portis. There's not a lot of sample sizes, but because with Golden State and especially with Minnesota, he never got a lot of minutes. But whatever the small sample sizes look good to me. He's gonna
2.2 attempts, and he had like 30s, high 30s, I believe, high 30s%,
37, I think, or something like that. But
and so the thing is with and Joe Madden is right. The thing is with Spellman, it was a clunky fit for a couple of seasons because they played Eric Pascal. God, I forgot his name. Draymond Green and Amari Spellman in some kind of weird rotation, and Kevon Looney. And so you didn't know what you were really getting out of Spellman except toughness. You know what I'm saying? He can hit some shots or whatever, but you don't know if those plays were called for him or they cycled through offense and he got open looks, and the reason why that's important is because I think for a lot of time they played without a point guard, I think, or not a point guard, but you know what I mean. Played without Steph, I think. So. And then I think in Minnesota, I think they played without some point guard too until D'Lo
got hurt too.
Yeah.
Let me ask you for easy. Is Westbrook the only major trade you would make at this moment?
No,
at this point, I don't think you can trade for Westbrook.
We can.
You gotta.
I mean, it's feasible. No, I'm saying it's feasible. Like the trade can be done. But what I'm saying is so if you establish a young core like this, do you want to bring in a Westbrook now? Do you want to trade away Frank, DSJ, and Knox and absorb money so Westbrook can come in and play with RJ, Mitch, Obi, Manny, Spellman, and Jacob Evans and Miles Powell?
See, to me, the package would be Randall, DSJ, and Evans, and maybe a pick for Westbrook. So I think Evans was just brought in as a trade bait to put because he's young, and I know that's what Houston are. But the whole Westbrook thing is they're not going to start. They have $18.5 million left in cap space. Then when you add Westbrook, Evans, and DSJ's contract, that makes up the money. but they're not going to pull. I think this is the last bit of moves that are going to be done until Harden is traded. See, that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting on Houston. Guillermo was saying is Houston are trying to convince Harden to stay, but if they move Harden, then they're going to move Westbrook, or they'll move Westbrook for whichever way. So it's all based on see what happens with Harden. But if they do decide to move on from Harden or start shopping Westbrook, I think, with Charlotte spent their money, so literally the Knicks is the only viable option.
Right. Well,
the Knicks are going to have the money.
Well, and I just wanted to point out something, man. I think you're exactly right in the fact that you can throw in Randall. Yeah, Randall just slipped my mind.
Have to. Yeah, you have to throw in Randall.
I think you're right about that. It slipped my mind that Randall was still on the roster. But my thing is by watching the front office assemble these kids, I think they legit have a plan. That my only thing is, I think they may do something crazy like trade for Lonzo Ball.
That's a possibility because, like Lonzo now, they're keeping to play Eric Bledsoe, the Pelicans, and apparently they're going to look to start him because they said Bledsoe's a Van Gundy type of point guard, like tough, can penetrate, that type of guy.
Yep.
So Lonzo will be coming off the bench, and he'll be splitting probably bench minutes with Kira Lewis Jr. Because for a team that's looking to get over the hump, they wouldn't have used their lottery pick on a point guard if they were just going to sit him for the year. You know what I mean? Especially when they have a young team that they're looking to take that next step into the playoffs. So they're going to, I think, especially with Lonzo Ball, especially with him coming up on a contract, coming up through trying to get paid, he's not going to want to come off the bench. Right. So he might look in, and if that'd be a great move. I'd love to see Lonzo here. Him, especially with Obi and RJ, that fast break would be something special because he's quick. Him with the rebounding, getting them passes to Obi, because Obi, that's what Obi needs is a point guard that can get him the quick passes. Because Obi's a demon on the break.
The fact that he's threes too is such a big asset. I mean, we don't have any.
Oh, the defense too, yeah.
We don't have. Well, the defense is excellent, and we don't have point guards who could literally hit those 3-pointers off the break, off ball. We don't really have any options, legit perimeter scoring options from any of our guards that we have now. Obviously, Miles Powell, these guys, that's to be seen. But I'm just saying on the NBA level. I mean, and I don't try. I'd rather have Alonzo at the one versus trying to force a bench player in Rivers to be this point guard, which we've seen it. He's not a real point guard. He's more.
He's a good two guard, a decent two guard.
Right.
Yeah, he's a decent combo guard, I think. Like not a primary one, but can play point in a pinch. You know what I'm saying?
Good first step.
Yeah. My thing is, I guess my question to everybody is, and the reason why I brought this up is so as I looked at the roster, I was writing the roster down, and I was thinking to myself, holy shit, these MFers in the front office might know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They may have a plan, which to me, and I know this sounds crazy, but for first year guys, a bad plan is better than being clueless. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It looks to me as if these cats legit looked at what they wanted their team to look like and tried to get players to resemble what they're looking to get on the floor. Now, the whole thing, Elfrid Payton thing, I'm completely thrown off. I have no idea why.
No, we can waive him. See, the thing is, his contract and stuff isn't signed yet. So if the Westbrook deal goes through, they can just he's not technically signed. Burks signed today, I think.
Yeah, Burks is the only one who signed so far.
He's the only one to sign. Yeah, and I like Burks. Burks is a journeyman, but the guy can shoot and he'll play make a little bit. He can kind of do a little bit of everything, but his shooting is his main. He's the oldest guy in the team at 29. So we have a young team.
Yep, he gives all our guys and I know y'all will probably disagree, but I'm talking vibes only, not player archetype. but he gives me the vibes of a Courtney Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like a good vet that's not too old, can still do some of the stuff that the young kids do, is not going to take away shine from your young kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be dependable, trustworthy.
A true professional. He's a true
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows his role.
Like an Aaron Aflalo who could shoot threes. Like that's what he reminds me of. Like he's tough.
Yeah.
That's a good post up and he can hit threes. Like the guy, and he's the last 2 years last year with the two teams he played with, he kind of like a resurgent year. Not to say these guys are gonna be super. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but one thing I like about Alec Burke is that he will at least whatever Tom Thibodeau wants to do in regards to his guards being proficient on the perimeter, he can do it on a base level, right? So we don't have to, these guys like Frank can when I'm out on the court, I need to be able to space it out, and then I need to be able to hit that corner three, right? Alec Burke, if you look at his numbers from the corner three, he shot like 50% from like the right side and like 44% from the left, which is freaking amazing. You know what I'm saying? And that's both above league averages. So a guy like him, like you said, I think it's like Courtney. It's like, to me, he's more, he reminds me more like Aaron Aflalo, but a guy who spends less time on the ball. Like Aaron Aflalo would just dribble, post up, fade away. And this guy's like, he does less of that, but he has like those veteran moves that is like, damn. Like you could just, like you said, it's like a consummate professional, but he can shoot threes.
He like knows his game to the fullest. He knows his capabilities. He just sticks to it.
Right.
And the thing about the free agents brought in, the deals done this year. Last year we went and you paid all these guys like up $10 million and more. These guys this year is you're giving them $5 million and you're telling them, look, this is going to be your role. All the guys coming in last year, Peyton, Ellington didn't do nothing, but Portis, Morris, they were trying to play for money. Morris just come off a contender, and he wanted to get a contract and play his way back on a contender, which he got.
And let me ask you something crazy. Does Peyton take a pay cut, say the type of role that's really going to be a part of his team? Like he took a pay cut to come back.
Yeah. See, to me,
his role, what his role really going to be, because we think he's going to be a starter. But
no, I don't think he's going to be a starter. I think Frank. They're going to move Frank to come off the bench at the 2, because I think they kind of realize now that he's not a point guard, that he's more of a shooting guard that can't shoot.
You can't put Frank at 2.
Yeah, yeah. If you can get,
I said all of that stuff to say this. I think Frank is gone because you don't bring in quickly Evans, Miles Powell, and and all those guys in order to move Frank to that position.
See, the thing is, Frank might be, if anything, DSJ and Frank might be thrown in a deal to get Westbrook.
I can see that.
They might throw Frank, DSJ, and Randall, and maybe a second-round pick instead of a first then for a Westbrook deal. Because to me, honestly, I think that's what they're holding out for. You don't give all these guys small deals and hold on to $18.5 million and Randall, because then if you have to use up the cap space. So if you were planning on just getting these guys in and going with that team, you would have given these guys more money because you have to use the cap. They're holding that cap onto something.
Right.
So I honestly think it's the Westbrook thing, because you have a nice young team. They got a bunch of shooters, which we were saying leading up to free agency in the draft. The only way to get Westbrook in here and build a team around Westbrook is shooters. Now they have shooters.
Right.
Now they're all they're missing is Westbrook. So
how come we haven't gotten
me? I don't know. That's what I just think. I don't know, because why would they hold on to the 18 million of 16? They have 16 roster spots. They have 18.5 million in Randall, and then they got trade bait.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I think they are shaping up for Westbrook. I just, when you said, that's all they need, is it's like,
I'm gonna respectfully disagree. I think what they're doing right now is saving up cap space to push that JaVale McGee deal through.
No,
he's
gone.
In Cleveland.
He's in Cleveland.
Oh,
and he doesn't take up 18. He takes up $2 million, I think.
Yeah, he got a low deal, like 3 or 2 million.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He got traded for. Lakers gave Cleveland a second round draft pick too,
Yeah.
Wow.
and they just picked up Marcus Gasol for 2 years.
Wow. Wow. Well,
I think
that puts us in an odd spot. I guess y'all are right with the
Houston's holding up the rest of the market right now.
Yeah, and we're the only team, I think, because you're looking, and our people were saying about, oh, why would they jeopardize the cap? People are saying about trying to hold on to the money for next year. When all these guys are gone next year, you still have over 40 million or close to $40 million in cap space. Nobody's coming here. So I think what they're going to do is try and get Westbrook as a pitch to get somebody else in here next year. And still, because they're like, they kept the flat cap flexibility, they'll have the cap flexibility, and they'll have Westbrook. Because as it stands, nobody's coming here next year. So why hold on to the money?
Man, think about this: Westbrook, Randall, and Mitch just wouldn't mix on the floor together. Like, some got to give.
Westbrook and Mitch would be nice together. That they'll.
Yeah, but with Randall as well.
Yeah, Randall's gonna. Either way, I think they're gonna have to get rid of. They're gonna have to move on from Randall because it to me it just doesn't fit with the locker room presence. As I said, you can't put him at the stretch five with Obi.
You agree that the ownership and the front office put together a young core of guys, and they're going to root out the veterans that try to get in the way of their development.
No. You have a young core of guys. You have veterans that are going to come off. Like Austin Rivers might start, but most of these guys are going to come off the bench. You're going to start Obi. You're going to start Mitch. You're going to start RJ. You're going to make, if you're going to keep Frank and Knox, you're going to make them earn their minutes. And then Westbrook will go at the point.
That's the thing. What is the production level that Frank and DSJ would have to give you to justify keeping those guys for the future?
I think Frank is going to be the Marcus Smart. You're
defensive, yeah.
But then you're not paying. Okay, so you're not. You justify playing those guys, right? Now, obviously, you have veterans and stuff like that, but I think the veterans at least give you a base level production for which you could build your system, right? So if you have a guy like Frank and Knox, right, what is the level of production you need for them to say, all right, I'm re-signing this guy next year? And also, because if I can flip you by the trade deadline for anything, because I think you're going to be of no value, I'm not going to re-sign you next year, I'm going to flip you. So what is the level of production that they need to give you that will convince us to be like, nah, we're going to try to re-sign this guy in the summer because this guy's production was just, we need this. It fit our system perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, we got so wins because of it. What is the level of production you need from Frank and DSJ?
And you know what? You know how their best start for us is expiring deal. Let the season start, and Frank, DSJ are on expiring deals. Mm-hmm. So now it's like you add them to the rest of the cast that you have. Like Frank and DSJ are legit about $12 million in cap space if you trade them. You know what I'm saying? Or you let them walk. However you want to do it. But I want to do this thing real quick. Yo! Shout out to my people. D Chan was good. Bryce Costa, J Dills, Alawise was good. Ronnie Montiero and my brother from another mother, Woodshed 1914, coming in here to raise ruckus. What's good? Raekwon, I see you. Hey, appreciate y'all coming out tonight, man. Y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. YouTube sent me YouTube analytics told me that you guys like the channel. Y'all come in and y'all stay for a very long time, but you don't subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Get my homeboy a Legion of Knicks podcast. We need to get him up over 1,000 subs before the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? He is too close. He can see the finish line. Get my man there. Quality Knicks content. Quality Knicks content. There's a lot of Knicks content out there. All of it ain't quality. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But if you want the Knicks quality, subscribe to my man channel.
Let's get Freezy's channel up too, man. You know what I mean? Like let's get this up to 1,000. Maybe not beat about the end of this year, but let's get it up by next year, early next year. Maybe next year, man.
Heartbreak Nova was good.
I will say this. It's going to be interesting to see what happens after Thanksgiving and what this team looks like and what Houston looks like. And if nothing happens by, I think by the end of next weekend, I think Houston sticking with their team.
Smart. Hey, so Woodshed said something that's smart too, and we actually have data to support it. Austin Rivers brings everything that Frank Ntilikina brings to your team at half the price and more offense. So what are we keeping Frank for?
Oh Lord. Well, Austin Rivers has had how many years in the NBA, and he finally looks like competent for the role that he's in. I'm not talking about starter because he might come and actually start, but again, he's had how many years in the NBA compared to Frank?
And is Frank like legal to drink now? Like, how old is he? Like, he's just able to go to the bar?
I think he's just 21. He might just be 21.
You know, it's one of those weird conversations about Frank and Knox, and like these guys are like kind of, you got to think about it this way. I mean, they'd be seniors in college. Like, just let these guys like continue to. I don't see the point of now. Knox is I think this year's a year that Knox has to show up. Yeah, and just show that he's just progressing just a little bit. Like I don't understand Knox sometimes, and then I'm looking at him off season. He ain't getting no muscle. It's like he's working up again and no muscle. I don't know. Knox is an anomaly to me.
How does Frank Ntilikina get all the love?
Because he's the best defender. Like y'all want him to be the scoring machine, and that's not his role. Like that's not his role. Like, yes, this is Frank's role.
That's the whole point. What are you paying that guy? Like, are you paying Frank is a free agent, right? Is he a main part of his team going forward? Because if he's not, then I'm not even going to play him. I don't care to play him, right? Unless he's an important part of his team. Now, if he's an important part of his team, that's different. Then it's like, I'm going to pay this guy, and I'm a gauge. Is this a guy that we resign in the future? You know what I mean? With Frank, he has to be able to do something else more than defend. I'm not paying him. I'm not paying him. I don't want to pay him this contract that he has now for him to just come in and defend.
Right.
Like, nah, bro. He has to.
He was showing promise at the end of the season before everything collapsed.
I agree with you. There were spurts. I called it out where he's being aggressive, and he has to do that all season where he has to eat up those bad games. The thing with Frank, I think sometimes he's scared to fail. Right? We have a lot of players. Mitch Robinson does not want to shoot a shot because he's scared to fail. And he had 3, 4 of the 5 shots he took. It's like, dogs, you play for New York. Everyone sees your team sucking. You're not doing as well as you can. You might as well, not say you chuck, but be aggressive. Be aggressive. Make the mistakes, and you'll learn from it. You know,
I think with a good coach like Tibbs and our development team, I think we're going to see a whole lot of different things because these players are going to actually know their roles and stick to the roles and tell them, this is the spots on the floor that I need you to work your shots at. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we had a coach to tell them exactly what spots they should be working to shoot at. And, you know, what's going to be your role in the offense. And, you know, like we never had – I think this is a totally different regime. And all these players are going to be held accountable now. So they're going to be like, okay, I know if I'm give my all.
Hey, Teddy, I wasn't yawning at your argument, man. You know I wouldn't be disrespectful like that.
I didn't know you was young.
But I already heard this story like 52,000 times, man. I swear I heard this. But Frank didn't get
I don't even care if Frank's on the team. I'm just saying that
the new culture bring the best out of Frank. We just heard this all before, man. At some point,
we know you're the biggest Frank hater. I mean, I'm not
the biggest Frank hater. I'm not. I'm
like conversation because he never had a legit coach. Like
at some
beyond
point,
2 years. Like
at some point, you have to crap or get off the pot. You can't just sit on the pot the whole time.
I don't disagree.
You know what I'm saying?
It's unfortunate.
No, Frank is unfortunate.
Okay. I just gotta say okay because sometimes people be ridiculous. I just gotta say okay. Like
I'm not hating on Frank. I'm not hating on Frank. I'm not hating on Frank. If you point out one thing that Frank did,
I already said it.
That popped the eyes of the NBA, then I'd be like, I'll give him credit.
Frank is the best defender.
Got 20 and 10 against the Washington Wizards when they only had 4 NBA players and 4 G Leaguers suited up for the game. You can't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's ridiculous. How you gonna be like?
You love to bring up the RJ. Okay.
The Washington Wizards, A whoop-de-doo. Y'all get what it took him 3 years.
You love to bring up this RJ injury stuff. You got to remember, before he started balling, he had a groin injury. You love to bring up he had a high ankle sprain and all that. Dude had a groin injury.
Frank didn't have one groin injury. Frank has had 3 groin injuries over the course.
You just having my case even more. When he's healthy,
No, I'm not helping your case.
You know what? I don't even care. Honestly, I don't even care. I just want a formal system this year. I don't even care if Frank's on the team. I want to see my Knicks put on a good system and be competitive. Like, if we're going to be all about defense, put the best defenders out there who can translate it to offense. That's all I care about.
That's why I think Frank's going to be here, because defense. That's just why I think he's going to be here.
And I can't believe you're trying to say Austin Rivers got the same type of defense as Frank.
Austin Rivers is a better defender than Frank Ntilikina.
Okay.
Data. Hey, let me shout out the Big Oso. Big Oso's in the building. Hey, so me and Wood had this. Wood made a point where all the shots that were taken by stars on Austin Rivers, and he had everybody held under 50% from the floor. You know what I'm saying? Now, you say Frank is that specialist. Frank doesn't have numbers like that.
But what Austin Rivers played on a so-called a playoff team.
He played with a great coach.
Bro, the Frank thing baffles me. I swear, we keep y'all be wanting to bring you know what I'm saying, our youngest to the altar for Frank Ntilikina. It's like, let's bring RJ Barrett's heart to the altar for Frank Ntilikina because he plays good D. Frank is Frank
this Austin Rivers thing is crazy though. Only reason Austin stayed on the league is because his dad gave him the contract and he got to work his way into being a decent player in Houston.
So Frank Ntilikina makes about $6.5 million and averages about 6 points a game. Does that not baffle y'all? That the dude legit makes about $6 million a year and averages about 6 points a game.
I'm not saying this. Look,
he needs to improve.
I hate defending Frank. I hate it.
No, Frank needs to improve.
The argument for Frank Ntilikina should be more of a hey man, Frank is not that guy. We should give him till January and we'll cut him. Mind you, the season starts December 1st. So give Frank a month. And if Frank is still that guy, we cutting him. He gone. You know what I'm saying? No trying to put him in a trade. No, none of that.
He got a week.
Yeah, he got to walk the plank. Okay. Frank has to walk the plank. Bro, this is I went from the guy that legit was saying Frank is the answer to our point guard needs to the guy like I'm really at the point now where Frank Ntilikina, there's no longer a put up or shut up. It's you got to walk the plank, bro. You and Dennis Smith Jr. Y'all got to walk the plank. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you, I ain't sending you to die, but you can't ride this ship. You know what I'm saying?
What's gonna happen is he'll shut everybody down in practice, and he'll get more minutes. That's what's gonna happen. Frank always does this. He always overachieves. That's why he's on the team.
Man, training camp starts December 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
Season starts December 22nd. That's 3 weeks, right? If Frank don't show us nothing, he got to go. Why you?
I believe it. I said this is a contract anyways. He got to put up or shut up anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But the sad thing is, it should have been put up or shut up 2 years ago.
First of all, let me just say something. Art over here is trying to talk trash about Frank, but he got exposed in the Twitter group for taking a picture with Frank. So keep Art. When you see Frank next time, keep all that same energy, man. You guys said Frank is the one that gets other people Gatorade. Like, come on.
Oh my God, Guillermo just cut this dude's head off on that story.
I don't want to hear no more Art.
Oh my
God, man, you big cat, man. Come on, Art.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Art, I want you to come on here and tear that picture up. Come on here and tear that picture up.
Hey, Joe. So here's the other thing, right? So people think it's just me and Frank, right? But I put DSJ in that same boat.
Well, DSJ is going to be here. I don't think DSJ is going to be here. He's the odd man out when it comes to all them point guards. I don't think DSG is going to be here.
So he's got the. So what is he going to walk the plank or is he going to get traded?
He's going to be traded. DSG is going to be gone. I think if there's definitely going to be a trade because there's no way because they have to spend that money in their 16-man roster. So there's definitely going to be a trade.
I wouldn't be mad if it was BI.
Huh? What?
I wouldn't be mad if it was BI.
BI, nah. I don't think Ingram's coming here, bro.
He ain't signed yet.
He hasn't signed, but
he hasn't signed anything yet.
Yeah, that's true. I think Tatum and Donovan Mitchell signed today, right?
Absolutely. Yep. They got their bag.
Yep.
Do you know what? Ingram could be holding out for something too.
Yeah, a trade to the New York Knicks. He wants to get back to that big market.
No trade clause.
But why is he gonna want to leave Zion Williamson to go play with
He used to be in LA. He used them lights. He want them lights again.
Wait, but have they offered him a contract, Ingram?
Nah, but it just sounds good. It sounds good. Hypotheticals. We got all the assets.
They don't have the money to sign a contract yet, unless they have. Oh well, I suppose the sign and trade. Because Pelicans aren't letting them go for free. But the thing is with the sign and trade is we got to give up a boatload of picks. We're going to have to give up at least 3 first-rounders to get them.
Hey, but you know what? The thing about GMs that acquire draft picks, they get drunk, they get punch drunk and thirsty for trading for picks. Like it's their stick or whatever.
Devin Griffin is one of the best. He's going to stick.
So like say for instance, in the case of a Knicks, if we fall in love, if we get bloodthirsty for picks, that might be our thing going forward. And if you watch the Boston Celtics implode, basically, I watched some random dude on YouTube, and what he said was, "Hey, watch how the Boston Celtics are imploding right in front of our eyes. Like they legit let Al Horford walk. Al Horford opted out and walked away, and then the very next season,
look what happened to him."
No, but what I'm saying is like, say for instance, because Al Horford got his bag. I mean, Al Horford got paid.
Yeah,
right?
but fucked by fucking Philly. Philly pays everybody. Look at Philly had to give up picks and assets to get rid of them.
Right. Well, what about Gordon Hayward did the same thing this year? Gordon Hayward could have stayed, made $34 million. Right, he decided to opt out and sign with another team.
Charlotte.
So it's like this thing, like Oklahoma City legit trades for a bunch of picks, but who are the stars that they have now?
It don't matter. They're going to draft their stars. They're going to be good in a couple of years. They have enough. They have all the picks. I think they have a plan to go out and get every pick in every draft.
After 2010, what star did Oklahoma City draft after the year 2010? That's 10 years ago. What star did Oklahoma City draft after 2010?
None. Well, they didn't have picks. They haven't had picks in a while. They haven't had a lot of picks in a while. Now they have picks.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out a thing to add to the conversation. Not that my point was right. I just wanted to throw this into the conversation to see if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about it, then you know what I'm saying, I can at least, I'll admit that I was wrong about it. But my point is though, the Brandon Ingram thing, I don't think it's a situation where they may just be waiting for Brandon Ingram to find a suitor that's going to pay him the max, and New Orleans will get, say, a boatload of picks, because the reasonable thing for the Knicks to do would be just wait. Because does Brandon Ingram get you to 50 wins by himself with this Knicks roster?
Does Russ?
Russ can. Ingram, I don't know.
Ingram
maybe
is literally not even in his prime, and he hit his stride last year.
Yep.
Yeah. Ingram, right. I'd love to have Ingram. He's nice.
Ingram is the truth. He's
So what do you do with RJ if you get Ingram?
RJ's part of the core. He's part of the core. It's gonna be a 3-man core now. It's gonna be
we just said RJ. Hey, dog, y'all legit.
I even forgot about this. And Obi. as a rookie on his rookie deal. Like that'd be a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we just had a compelling argument for moving RJ to the 3. And
but then you could keep him at you can keep him at you can keep him at the 2. You're not gonna say, oh, we're not gonna get Brandon Ingram because we have RJ. It's you fit talent together, but this is positionless basketball. You put talent together. If you can get Ingram, you keep RJ to 2. If not, you can move to 3. If you can get a shooting guard, you move RJ to the 3. That's the way you build basketball. You're not going to say, "Oh, I'm not going to get Kevin Durant because I have Julius Randle." No, that's not the way. That's not the way you're supposed to build on it. Like, if you can get Ingram, you keep RJ at the 2.
But Durant is a better player at the position. And then are you saying Kevin Durant, a power forward, would be an improvement over the current power forward?
And Obi,
but when you had Jason Tatum, would you say the same thing about Jason Tatum? Would you be like, I'm gonna just move Jason Tatum to something because I can get Kevin Durant?
Well, what position do you think BI plays?
Plays a 3.
Plays a 3.
Yeah.
Yes, you keep RJ. You keep RJ at the 2. Then if you're going to get Brandon Ingram,
I think about line up with this: Alfred, RJ,
Obi.
I was gonna say Frank, but I don't want to hype him up too much. So and Mitch.
Yeah, that'd be a team.
That's a
no point guard.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they were thinking about getting Peyton. I just don't know. You had so many other options.
I think they're a little bit desperate, man. Honestly, God, I really think that.
I think it was familiarity. Like they were just like, he was with the team last year. He knows.
Yeah, and do you know what? Do you know what? Too, he's a CA. He's agency CAA.
I think they may have also tried to legit get Fred VanVleet. If that's the case, like they flopped on Fred, or they failed.
Yeah, because it was like an hour after Fred VanVleet went off to went Peyton.
Because you would have just you would have. I mean, you would have signed him like that same night, or you would have found somebody to restructure the contract, but.
That DJ Augustine getting signed for 3 years, 21.
I think they offered a 1-year deal to Augustine, but then he got a 3-year deal with. I
think that's what happened as well. And their last choice was like, you know what, we could always remember Alfred. I mean, he does know the players.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's frustrating in that sense, the whole point guard thing. But I think we're in a situation where I think none of these deals happen. But like I legit think that the front office is just going to rock with who we have, let the young kids develop, go into next summer. If we can get a guy, we get him. If we don't, the cupboard will still have assets in it.
I actually won't be mad at that. I mean, as long as we got all playing.
Right.
The whole what if what's so crazy? What if Julius Randle balls out this year?
Well, we won't know. We won't know. Because I honestly don't think the front office is stupid enough to have him on the roster because there's so many problems are just going to fold out. It'll be a disaster times 2 if he's still on the roster.
I almost think Spellman ain't going to play then if that's the case.
Yeah. Shout out to the Triborough Gigolo that's in the building. What's good, Triborough? Hey, I don't know if the Julius Randle thing is gonna happen because there is no smoke and no fire for Randle right now. There are no rumors, nothing. You don't hear.
There wasn't rumors about. Alfred or this traded Ed Davis or.
Yeah, the thing I like about this front office, they're keeping everything in house. They're saying nothing.
I would have never thought Austin Rivers. I just threw it out one night. Like, what if we picked up Austin Rivers?
Yeah. So when you said that, I thought Austin Rivers opted into his deal. I didn't realize he opted out.
He opted out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah. So what I guess what I was getting at, like at the beginning when we first started, was I think the front office put together a core. They may do another sneaky deal or two to bring in other young guys. But it may be a situation where they have to like trade off a guy.
They have to. They have to unless they're releasing somebody.
Because the Pelicans are not going to give us Lonzo Ball. For one, that's not going to happen.
I think we should go.
And Brandon Ingram's not going to sign here in a sign and trade. That's not going to happen. The Russell Westbrook thing and Russell Westbrook and James Harden thing had so much smoke and so much fire. I think that fire may be out. I think the Houston Rockets may just run it back with what they have.
Nah, that'll be a disaster for them. They're to bring back 2 stars that don't want to be there.
Houston turning down $100 million.
He turned down $100 million. Or was it $103 million over 2 years? He don't want to be there. He want out. You're not going to bring back with a rookie head coach, a rookie GM. They traded. Right. They lost Austin Rivers. They got rid of Covington. They're starting to break down the team. You're not going to keep a rookie GM and a rookie head coach with 2 disgruntled all-stars.
They're waiting for the Harden chips to fall. That's
they're waiting. And as soon as they do, we're getting. I think the Westbrook deal is going to happen.
Wait. Hey, so Joe, we going too fast. So you said that you're waiting for the Harden chips to fall, right?
I said that.
Right.
We all said. I'm sorry. We all said.
Yeah. So what are the Harden chips?
That he has to get traded.
He ain't gonna be there.
To whom?
He wants to go to the
Philly or Brooklyn.
I think he'll go to Philly. I think Philly will move Ben Simmons for him.
Why? Why would Philly be motivated to do that?
Because if Daryl Morey was James Harden's butt buddy.
Right.
He'd done everything and anything for James Harden. Now he left. He'd do anything to get him back.
I can't see that. And so basically you alluded to his track record, right? But Daryl Morey's track record also shows a history of small ball, right? And so if they show a history of small ball, why would they trade Ben Simmons and not trade Joel Embiid?
Because the thing about Joel Embiid is a lot more value than Simmons does. Simmons can't shoot. That's why Morey would get rid of him, because why would he have his point guard if he plays small ball and loves the 3-point game? Why will he keep a point guard that has no ability to shoot a mid range or shoot a 3?
And so here's my answer to that, and I'm sure y'all have an answer. Because the Philadelphia 76ers with that unit, right, have achieved the same thing as James Harden and Daryl Morey in Houston. You know, if the Houston Rockets had won a championship, had gone to the NBA Finals with that strategy, then Philly might be motivated to say, hey, listen, we have a few more pieces than Houston does. And maybe if we do that deal, maybe we'll be more successful in the East that is not as tough as the West.
Mm-hmm.
But just to say that stuff in a vacuum, you know, when you compare franchises, I think you have to look at the fact that Philly had the same modicum of success as Houston in the same time frame. I think one year Houston went to the Western Conference Finals, but they didn't go up. So, but for the most part, both teams are second round exit teams with high paid superstars.
The only thing that's bad for the case, the only thing that's bad with your argument is that Daryl Morey didn't want to play small ball. That was Mike D'Antoni's system. He's in Doc Rivers' system now. Yeah. And Doc Rivers, seeing how he likes his point guards, do you think Ben Simmons is a prototypical point guard for Doc Rivers?
But it's the same argument. What did the LA Clippers achieve?
Well, yeah, he did have Rondo, right?
Yeah,
Rondo couldn't shoot, so.
But it's the same argument. The Houston Rockets, the LA Clippers, and the Philly 76ers have the same end result. They make it to the second round of the playoffs, maybe play tough and lose in 6. So saying that one person's strategy over the other two franchises' strategy doesn't necessarily work, because the end result is the end result. So saying taking James Harden to Philly for a Ben Simmons makes you think like, well, you know what?
And you know what? I'm glad you're bringing this up. I don't think they're going to trade Ben Simmons. You know who I think they'll trade? Honestly, if they can get Philly can get their way, Tobias Harris.
When does his contract expire? 3 years?
Yeah. I don't know. He got the worst contract in the NBA though.
Yeah.
No, John Wall.
I'm talking. It's like
John Wall.
It's like top 5 though.
John Wall's stealing money in Washington. He hasn't game yet.
Otto Porter has to have the worst contract in the NBA, man.
Otto Porter's chilling and collecting.
What?
Yeah, I think Ntilikina. Frank Ntilikina has the worst.
Yeah, but
worst
what is
contract.
John Wall hasn't even played under the contract. John Wall signed the contract and a week later fell in his house. I think he done that on purpose. I think he jumped down the stairs.
Right. Hey, so Woodshed put out. Woodshed, what's the trade that you suggested? Hey, just put it in the chat while Joe finishes his point. Hey, Joe, and listen, man, I wasn't jumping on you, man. I'm saying like what you do is what I found is like you'll say 3 good things in one take, and then we'll like gloss over the other 2 without even getting to them. What I'm saying is when you say something, let's just instead of just glossing over any of the 3, just chop up all 3. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see what I'm talking about. Like when you rewatch the video, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or at least say 1 and then hold the other 2 so everybody else can, can chop it up on the joint. So, but the fact that Russell Westbrook, and this is the other part that you said. So, and the fact that Russell Westbrook can go first or second in the Westbrook Harden thing kind of makes me think that a team like the Knicks will lose patience and interest as the clock ticks because it's not like we're waiting on a 22-year-old point guard that's disgruntled. We're waiting on a 32-year-old point guard that we want to have in training camp to develop chemistry with the young kids we brought in and develop some type of chemistry with the new regime that was brought into New York. So I don't think it's just as simple as, well, we'll just wait right here and be patient. You know what I'm saying? For one, New York Knicks fans are not the most patient. 2, you just brought in a whole bunch of rookies that you're trying to develop into NBA players. And 3, you just brought in a new regime. And so everybody is learning each other and trying to develop this certain thing. What do you think about that?
I think they'll wait because they can bring Westbrook in mid. They can bring him in mid camp, but I think they're gonna wait it out. I think they have until is like the second week of training camp or something before they have to make sure that all the money is spent. Right. Before the penalty kicks in or something. So I think they still have time, and if they don't have time, they'll just go out and maybe try and figure another deal. But there's definitely, I think the trade will be happening soon. I think it'll happen within the next week because they have a plan. It seems like, and if that plan goes up, then I guarantee they have a backup. They have a backup trade. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. We'll see.
So Doom. So what do you think about that? Do you think that we're on something with the Westbrook thing?
There's no way
are we?
Yeah, there's no way you stack up all these assets and not have that plan in place. I think everybody's waiting on the Harden because everything's going quiet on that front, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, Westbrook's going to sign." I think right now the organization is kind of like an impasse where it's like, look, we want to rebuild, but it's going to take us moving Harden. But if Harden somehow wants to resign, obviously we have to keep Westbrook and keep going along with this so-called plan or whatever the hell they have. They got rid of Covington. I think they're already starting, but I think right now it's a weird phase where they trying to look for a training partner and they're still trying to gauge Harden's mindset. But again, I think that there's a plan in place for the Knicks. We got the assets. Obviously, Randall, you draft the OB. Not saying you draft him purposely to get rid of Randall, but you're moving on, right? And I think that they're getting all these second rounders and all these picks just to have that ammo ready. Again, I think that once you move Harden, Westbrook becomes more of a salary dump. So I don't think you have to give up 3 or 4 first rounders or whatever for the next how many other years. But again, I think that you probably have to give him something to entice him. Because other teams might come in and say that Westbrook is well too. We don't know. That 44 or what is it, 40 million, 44, whatever it is.
4.
We're one of the only teams that'll be able to quickly absorb him, right?
Right.
So yeah. I just hope the Knicks have something in place because, again, Austin Rivers is not a point guard.
So the deal. So my thinking is, and I think I saw how Teddy reacted too, man. I think the deal is this, or the deal with us is this, not the official trade or whatever. Is what are we? So what's holding up the trade? So if there's a deal in place, you know what I'm saying, and it's not being pushed through, what is holding the deal up from not being pushed through?
I think, I think we all said it. We're waiting for James Harden to get traded because they don't want to make a mistake and trade Westbrook, and then Harden doesn't get traded, and then he's a disappointed player on the team now. And
Well, to see, the thing to me is they've kind of realized. I think they've realized too is that the Westbrook Harden experiment didn't work, so I don't think they'd be stupid enough to run it back.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, and Westbrook isn't Harden. If they are, Harden might look and said, you know what, the money, he'll take the extension. Westbrook ain't the type of guy to change his mind. If he wants out, he wants out, and that's it.
Yeah,
I don't think he wants to play like Stephen A. Smith. Well, I don't know how true his reports are, but he said that they don't want to play together. So if they don't want to play together, it's either keep Westbrook, trade Harden, or trade Westbrook, keep Harden, or trade them both. Which I think the more realistic thing is trading them both.
And it's another thing when you talk about with Houston. Houston has a new GM now and a new head coach, and I think that GM wants to get the most he possibly can and make it look like he's better than Daryl Morey. And when you're in that new position, he's under a lot of pressure.
Well, all GMs want to have their own clean slate. They don't want to have the mess that they inherited. Somebody else. And so again, they already, like you guys said, they already made the move for Covington. I think that Christian Wood was a part of the new vision.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be stuck with the mess that is, Westbrook, and because a lot of people just don't. A lot of people will never put those two together. Not saying they're going to have the talent, they have like the talent, but to have two of those guys there, and it's like you have to build these mountains, and both those guys know it's a rebuild. They both know it's going to be rebuild. They both don't want to be there. Since it looks like
right.
So it's up to the Nets, the Rockets to find the right trading partner, but it's tough. I mean, while his contract is not attractive, and the player that he is just, if you have something going on now, would they be better off? Like, what would the Rockets accept from the 76ers to make this happen? Over Tobias Harris would be, guy with 3 years left on his contract. That would, not sure they would want to tie their hitch to the Tobias Harris train.
I think they want draft picks. I think they want as much draft picks they probably can, because Houston was one of those teams that have a lot of draft picks either, if I want to say.
Right.
They have no picks.
Yeah,
So the young GMs, like the ascending GMs, have this thing where they feel like acquiring draft picks, solidifies their status as a good GM. I just tend to notice stuff like
wave
that
right now.
Yeah, except for there are some guys that legit can care less about draft picks if it means getting them to the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? See, there's some GMs, but in our case, when we're looking at a situation where we may be potentially trading for Westbrook and the deal is being held up because Houston wants more stuff, why are we waiting? Is Russell Westbrook the dude that's going to take us to the NBA Finals with this roster?
No, but there's nobody else out there. We're in no rush.
And the thing that we forget too is that Russell Westbrook is a Tom Thibodeau. He's like a Derrick Rose prototype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau, we're talking about how Tom Thibodeau is going to do this to DSJ and Frank and all that crap.
Doing that.
I think Tom Thibodeau, when you look at a guy like Westbrook who has all the physical prerequisites that he so-called likes in his point guard, or at least in the point guard that gave him the most success. Right. Russell Westbrook fits all that. Now, if you could sit there and make him more of a student of the game, refine his game, make him a lot smarter on the ball as a point guard or the lead guard, right? You have an ultra productive guy who will be a lot more efficient and smarter. And I think that's what everybody sees in Russell Westbrook. If he only become more efficient and smarter, he'd be literally he'd probably be the best player in the game or top 3 players in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
if again, Tom Thibodeau, I think that, and look how they moved in the draft. They got a guy in Obi Toppin who people say, okay, he's the best talent. But again, people like they're scratching their heads like, huh? So that means that they're allowing Tom Thibodeau, it seems, to pick the guys that he has a vision for versus, the GMs are just like, nah, we have our own stuff. Tom Thibodeau, we'll get you the ingredients. You cook the dinner, right? They're allowing to kind of shape the team like he wants, and I think that Westbrook would be that type of guy that he would relish having. And I think that think about Tom Thibodeau, I think he has like a little reclamation project savior type to him, right? Not to say he doesn't with players, right? And it's tough because Joakim Noah wasn't that, right? But he took a guy who everyone probably looked at like, how the hell is he going to do? And literally made him top 5 MVP voting. He made him into a player that no one expected Joakim Noah to be like.
Right.
He took a guy like Luol Deng and still made him effective. I believe Luol Deng's second season with Tom Thibodeau, second or third.
Was it second?
He shot from 3. Damn, he shot.
Luol Deng owed Tom Thibodeau so much money because he got him that big contract.
Right. So Tom Thibodeau has that in him where he can kind of find ways to make you more effective outside of what people expected. And I think that with Westbrook, a guy like Westbrook who's still productive. I'm not the biggest fan of him. He's still productive. Yeah. So Luol Deng, he shot the first year with Tom Thibodeau was what, 2000 and Vinny Del Negro was there to what, 09, 10?
That sounds right. Yeah.
And
yes. 2011.
Was he there 2011? Hold on. So I have it right here too. Bulls history. Yeah. So essentially, Luol Deng shot really well from 3 several years. I think it may have been the highest in his career. Damn, I can't find it. But yeah. So with Luol Deng, he shot in 3. Yeah, he shot 40% 2008, 2009, 38.6% 2009, 2010. I think that was one year with Vinny Del. But that 40% was like 0.4% shooting. Then literally 2010, 2011, he shot 34.5%, 4.1 attempts. And the next year he shot 36.7% off of 4 attempts. So, Tom Thibodeau, I say Luol Deng was a bum, then he wasn't. But, Tom Thibodeau has that in where he likes to tinker with it to make you like an even better model of himself. So, let's see what happens.
I wouldn't mind getting Westbrook. It just what are we giving up for Westbrook?
We ain't gonna be giving up much. He's an expiring deal. You'll give up. That's why I think they're acquiring second round picks and like young players, but not guys that were too highly productive. So that's why I think they're moving. That's what they got. Evans. They're gonna move Evans. They're gonna move DSJ. They're gonna move maybe Frank. They're gonna move Randall, and then maybe package 2 or 3 of them picks. Because you have to remember, 2023 they have 5 second-round picks and 2 first-round picks. Because they're gonna move 2 of them picks at least, which I wouldn't mind giving up because yet he's gonna get the best out of these players. Was it with Oladipo? He made Oladipo what he was. He made Adams who he was.
Right.
Adams is just a bum until Westbrook made him who he was, and he's going to get the best out of Mitch. And he's going to get into the paint, and he's going to be fired. That's why they got 3-pointers, guys that have high percentages from corner 3. He's going to get into the paint and kick out these corner 3s, which is going to make all these guys better. He's going to make RJ more efficient. He's going to make Mitch a lot better. He's going to make the team a lot better, and he's going to make them relevant where they're going to go in and get maybe a playoff, maybe first-round exit in the playoff, but a playoff berth. So next year they have the respectability to acquire another star at an extras free agency.
Yo, Big Freezy, before you guys go on, I got to be out because I promised myself I'm going to get more sleep than freaking only 5 hours. So I'll catch you guys. Freezy, I hate you for doing this, man. You keep keeping me up, man. Show good, man. So
we gotta give the people what they want. We gotta give them what they want. It's legit 1:30, and it's like 46 people in here.
Yo, man, hit them likes, man. Hit them likes, bro. Stop playing around, man.
Hey, yo, and go back and rewatch these videos, man, and hit that like button and share them on your social medias so my man can become because it's like Family Feud and Wheel of Fortune. You know what I'm saying? You can't watch one without the other. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so yeah, y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Up north, we had Jeopardy, rest in peace, Al Trebek, and then we had Wheel of Fortune, not Family Feud.
I know he keep messing it up. I don't want to say nothing.
I don't know what old school South Carolina.
Hey, we down south, boss.
Down there, man.
Hey, we down south. Hey, we fish and grits, boss.
First of all, I ain't gonna lie, son. Fish and grits is. I growing up north, I wasn't privy to that, and like fish, grits, and cheese. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, yo, I'll see you guys. I was actually doing an Alec Burke video, working on it. I've already finished with the script. Be something short, but I'm gonna send it out tomorrow, man. So we get this thing rolling. But again, Freezy, thank you for everything, bro. I'll see you later, man. Oh, by the way, me and Thibodeau are doing a review of Rock Marciano's latest album, Mount Marcy, tomorrow at I believe 9 p.m. So Thibodeau, you could talk to Thibodeau for more details, but definitely on his channel. You know, Rock Marciano is my favorite artist, or he's my favorite rapper right now. So definitely, if you could be there, I know Freezy's going to talk about all the stories of him and Kumo D back in the day, running numbers and getting.
He owe me $40. I wouldn't bring up Kumo D if he owe me $40.
You see, but yo, I'll let you guys be Big Freezy. I hate and I love Big Freezy at the same time. I'll see you guys later, man.
All right, boss.
All right, bros.
Hey, hold on, let me do.
Oh, that was good.
All right, there we go.
That was good.
Hey, Shay, you gonna come in here and you gonna talk tonight, boss lady? Or we gonna put you back in the chat?
I'm sorry.
You good?
Yeah, just woke up, but I'm good.
Morning. Morning, bro.
Hey, what's good with you? Hey, I'm gonna bust in Thibodeau chat tomorrow, probably with a wife beater on. I make Thibodeau so bad sometimes. Hey, Thibodeau, I'm just a regular dude, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to these Knicks. What I was saying with the Knicks is you know, I'm not saying that we should hurry up and make a knee-jerk move for Russell Westbrook. What I'm saying is I just don't believe that the requisite parts for the two teams to get a deal done are available. And I don't I'm saying at the same time don't feel like the requisite parts to get a deal done for Lonzo Ball are available, because if they were, then you could use both trade scenarios to blow smoke at both of those teams to get them to either crap or get off the pot. Like
you don't know that's the Knicks could be doing. The Knicks could be playing ball with two or three teams. They could be trying to figure out, all right, which point guard. Like, none of them are going to give more production than Westbrook, but you might be able to get a younger point guard that has a brighter future or a longer future with the team. Right. But I think at the end of the day, the Westbrook is what they're looking at, because it makes more sense. They've $18.5 million in cap space. They still have Randall. You add Randall and Diaz to the deal. It makes the money work. They acquired picks and they put a load of shooters on the team with no point guard. So it all makes sense to me.
I don't think Houston wants Randall's contract. I legit think Houston wants the Knicks to absorb all the money and give them draft picks.
Yep.
No, they're gonna have to take it. And Randall's contract's only was $18 million with a team option, so they only have to absorb that for the year. Free agency's over. There's no free agency on the market, so they don't need
and nobody wants Westbrook.
And nobody wants Westbrook. We're the only team with the money. They have to absorb $18 million, because what do they need? They're gonna save upward, what is it, like something like $22 million or something on it, and not take it. Like, they don't need the extra $18 million of free agency, because technically there's no free agents left. So what they're going to do is take that contract. They're going to get money. They're going to get off of Harden's contract. Then they're going to tank for next year, and then next free agency they might start spending money. But see, the thing is, they have 1 year of Randall's contract, and it's a team option, and then he's off the books.
But if it were that easy, though, just like you said it, just if it were that easy, I think the deal would already been done.
Nah, you have to. They're probably looking around, trying to call teams around to see what happened, and then there's also that John Wall deal. But to me, that doesn't make any sense because you're basically swapping one bad contract for another, and the John Wall deal is worse because at least Russell Westbrook's productive. John Wall stealing money over there. John Wall signed the contract and got hurt a week later and hasn't played under the deal.
And then 6 months later got another injury.
Yeah.
That kept him out for this season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those. That's what I'm saying. So it's one of those. Hey, look who in the chat is Julian Tran in the building. Hey, Legion of Knicks podcast, take your ass to sleep. Leave us alone. Julian Tran just bust up in a room talking about fade fatigue. Julian Tran legit just bust up in a
Look, I wouldn't mind Cade Cunningham, but to me, it's you got to see him play. Like everyone is a good high school tape. You got to see him play in college, and I don't even know if there's going to be college basketball. Is there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be limited.
I don't know.
If not,
Blue Diamond Jim in the building. What's good?
That's why
Afro the Jedi is in the building. What's good?
I think Jalen Green's going to be better than Cade.
Hey man, you have absolutely lost it.
No,
absolutely.
Jalen Green's going to be better than Cade. I don't see what the big hype of Cade Cunningham is. He's slow. He can pass. He can pass decent. He can shoot decent. He's just slow.
You just don't like the fact that the kid is going to be 20 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds from day one.
Nah,
and elite level defense on other teams' point guard. He is legit Ben Simmons.
I gotta see, but that's not good. Ben Simmons to me is way hyped. Way hyped.
What?
Ben Simmons to me is a bum version of LeBron James.
Oh, don't be disrespectful.
Without a jump shot. Without a jump shot.
But do LeBron really have a jump shot though? That's just
yeah, he does.
LeBron has a decent enough where you have to go out and guard him. You can leave Ben Simmons wide open with no one around him, and he won't take no shot. He hit one 3-pointer in his career in the NBA, and it was against the Knicks.
Well, of course. Hey, but what if Luka Doncic had defense? What if Luka Doncic had defense?
He'd be good. I like Luka, but you have to. But
you have Cade Cunningham.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah. Let's see it because he's that. Everybody's good in high school. Look at DSJ. Look at Kobe in high school, and what did he do in college, and what has he done in the NBA?
Jalen Green. I think Jalen Green probably presents a high upside, like you mentioned, right? But aside from him being a scoring machine, what else does he do?
He plays defense. He can pass. Jalen, and he's going to go in. He's going into the G League where he's going to get better development. College.
Okay. I give you that. Okay, I give you that.
So he's not doing college. What college does is college gets guys in from high school and they don't develop them. They tell them, all right, give me what you got. They don't develop. That's why OB's defense isn't good because they want to take high school kids and they don't want to touch them. They don't want to ruin them. They want to be just give me what you have, and they go out and do it. And some of them, when they come to the NBA, they fail because they haven't had development. Obi's defense is bad because he hasn't had the coaching. Jalen Green's going to go into the G League, even though there might be no G League games. He's going to be in the G League and he's going to be playing. Instead of worrying about having to go to college classes, he's going to be in the gym at 9 a.m. He's going to be leaving the gym at 9 o'clock at night doing strictly basketball all day, every day. Right. Instead of having to worry about college classes, and he's going to get the better development.
But
so I don't dispute the Jalen Green's growth in this 1 year of professional basketball, right? But the Jalen Green's Jalen Green's thing about him playing defense is not true. Jalen Green is not a defender. And secondly,
decent defense, but he's going to learn in college. He's going to learn in the G League.
He'll probably have to learn in the G League, and then we'll look at it from there. But Jalen Green was a cherry picking scoring machine in high school. If you think NBA high school, if you think NBA defense is bad, look at high school basketball. When elite prospects play, like when elite prospects play against each other, like I saw some Amani Bates tape, right, against the other kid. I forget his name. I forget the other kid's name, but I saw them play together, and they legit would never even face up against each other on defense. That's what you get in high school.
I got a good debate for that. What's his name? LaMelo Ball scored 90 points in high school. Right. Cherry picking the whole time.
Cherry picking the whole right, Jay. Mm-hmm. And I have a one even better. And I know Shay want to jump in, but let me say this real quick, Shay, before you jump in real quick. So RJ Barrett's team, Mount Verde Academy, played against Chino Hills, right? RJ Barrett was a 14-year-old freshman, right? Chino Hills had Lonzo Ball and a bunch of guys going to D1 schools, right? RJ Barrett legit was shut out like the first half of the game. He ended the game with 32 points, right? Yeah, he brought Mount Verde all the way back against Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, Jello Ball, whatever. Who else? I don't. And some other guys, some other legit.
Used to play for them too.
Yeah, and so RJ Barrett was there by himself because the year before, D'Angelo Russell, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid left. So all them guys had played for Mount Verde, but they left. So RJ's there by himself. RJ brings Mount Verde all the way back against those cats, playing defense against Lonzo, LaMelo, everybody, right? And my man goes to the free throw line with the game on the line. All RJ has to make 2 free throws in order to tie the game up to go to overtime, right? And RJ Barrett missed the first free throw, right? So the game is over. So there's no way that they can win it unless they get an offensive rebound, some kind of miracle putback. RJ Barrett fell on the floor at the free throw line and started crying his eyes out at 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? He played the number 1 team in the country, scored 34 points, right? Missed the free throw to tie the game up to take it into overtime. And he laid on the floor and cried for like 5 minutes, held up the game. The referees had to legit console him. They had to legit like, kid, it's just a game. And RJ Barrett is like, nah, it's not just a game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so my man goes up and he clanks the second free throw to get the miracle bounce. They don't get the miracle bounce. Chino Hills walk off. They still the number 1 team in the country. RJ Barrett collapses and cries on the floor. They have to carry him to the locker room because he's crying so hard. And this dude was a 9th grader playing against Lonzo Ball, who was the number 2 pick in the draft from 2 years ahead. RJ Barrett was 14, right? Now, I told that story to say this. The kid, Josh Green, that you mentioned, has the same type energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now you talking about if you get Jalen over Cade, it's a legit debate. Like, do you legit want to go get a cat like RJ Barrett with all that want to energy like RJ Barrett and have them on the same team, 1 at the 2 and one at the 3?
Yeah, you do.
But you have to forego getting probably the most talented player to come out in the last 10 years. That's why when Joe says this stuff, I'm like, Joe, you got to understand who you talking about getting, because it's not just about highlight tapes and mixtapes and all that stuff. There's a personality aspect of it, that kill or be killed mentality that legit you have to take into account if you looking at taking Jalen over Cade, who's probably the golden child. You know what I'm saying? The dude's he's 6'7". He's got all the shiftiness you want, an elite perimeter defender. His shot is coming along. I mean, he's that once in a generational talent that the Knicks have always missed on. Like, we never get to LeBron James. You know, we never get to D Wade. but Cade Cunningham might be that guy. So do
But
you?
we might not get it. If we tank this year, we're still going to end up probably with the 8th overall pick again.
And we're not taking this year. Tibbs doesn't tank.
Tim's don't tank. So
Right,
you got to
we also
really
have
hope.
assets too, though.
Yeah, but nobody's trading that pick then. If he's that generation talent, whoever gets that number 1 pick ain't trading it. You're going to have to give up the house and more.
Yeah.
They're going to ask for Mitch. They're going to ask for RJ. They're going to ask for Obi. They're going to ask for picks. If you have that number 1 pick, they ain't getting rid of it. It's the same as this year in the football with Trevor Lawrence. They said Trevor Lawrence is the next, probably the best quarterback to come out of the draft than Andrew Luck. The Jets have it. They ain't trading it. You're going to have to give up the house for it.
Right. Trevor Lawrence is as good as Peyton Manning from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Better. His numbers are better than Peyton Manning from Tennessee.
So the Jets aren't going to trade that. The same as whoever the number 1 pick, whoever gets the number 1 pick. Right. I'm hoping the Knicks go out, they put a good season in, and turn out being like how New Orleans done it.
I think we'll be competitive.
Huh?
I think we'll be competitive.
Yeah. If they get Westbrook, then you can say kiss K goodbye. Because we're going to be an 8 seed. Unless you're going to trade.
That's why I want all these things to the table. Hey, Shay, so this is what I was going to ask you. Like, so you have all these situations where you can just play all your guys, don't trade for Westbrook, and probably end up with the 4th pick in the draft. Or you can trade for Westbrook and probably get to the 7th seed in the East, maybe the 6th seed in the East, because us in Atlanta are probably going to be trending upward. But Washington Wizards, not Washington, I'm sorry, but the Orlando Magic, and maybe a couple other teams maybe trending downwards. What direction do you feel like we should go in?
I really want y'all to get Russell Westbrook, but at the same time, I think it would be cheaper to take a risk, not in tanking, but in getting a guy like Cade Cunningham if you can, just because Westbrook is 32, and I know he can help you win and will help you win, but he's a 32-year-old that I think is stuck in his game and is unwilling to improve. And I think that has a lot to do with him in the early part of his years not being as injured as much as Derrick Rose was. Because even when Derrick Rose was injured, he kind of came back still playing the same way, thinking, okay, nothing's going to happen to me. And I think that's what happened to Westbrook. He thought, oh, I'm young enough and healthy enough, and I'm not going to get injured like I think I am. And now he kind of hit a wall where he had those injuries. And I think he's looking like, okay, can I come back and play the same way? And if so, I'm going to do it. I don't see him trying to get a shooting coach or anything. And I think that's what's bad, because Derrick Rose had to hit rock bottom in order for that to happen.
That's a good point.
And that he had to go down that far. And I just really want Westbrook to get a shooting coach, though. Like, just get comfortable out there on the perimeter. We're not asking you to be a 3-and-D shooter or just a solid 3-point shooter. We just want to see you hit those threes more consistently. But I feel that he feels, okay, I'm healthy enough. I'm going to still go back there and play my same game. And I don't think that's good.
Right. Hey, so just to answer Joe's question, when I mentioned the 7th seed, so I listed the teams, man, and so I think we're probably looking at Bucks number 1, Raptors, Celtics, Pacers.
Nah, Brooklyn going to be number 1.
Well, no, I'm naming teams though. I'm naming. Brooklyn to be in that conversation. 76ers.
I hate to say it, but you know who else? Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. Yeah. I just mentioned them.
Oh, my bad.
So it puts us in a situation where even if everything goes right for us, we might just be in 9th place.
Charlotte gonna be out there too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Charlotte.
So if we're just shooting for ninth, what are we really doing? If Russell
Yeah,
Westbrook only gets
they
us
got the play in. They got the play in this year, so everything's up for.
I don't.
If we got Westbrook, we're jumping ahead of Atlanta and Charlotte.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Yeah. I just think we have the better coach. I just think
yes. I agree.
I just don't want to go another losing season again, and we're stuck with a 7th or 8th pick.
I don't think we're gonna have a losing season, but I think we're gonna jump at least 15 games.
Yeah. I want to say something about this high school to NBA route. I think a lot of these players need to be very careful and take what they're doing in these next couple of years as far as the NBA draft goes very carefully, because we're talking about injuries with a guy like Russell Westbrook. The way these guys play, a lot of times we say, okay, this guy doesn't land correctly after a dunk, or his play style might give him injured or whatever. I would hate to see any of these younger guys, current guys that are young, that have not graduated college, to have a season ending or a career ending injury, and only education you have on you is high school. It's harder out here for me, and I'm educated with high school. I'm a CNA, but it's harder for me to find a job because I don't have a college education at all. And that's what they hire first. These college bound people that stayed there for 4 years. And then to the NBA trying to play. I want you to follow your dream and I want you to be successful. But you have to be very careful on what you decide. And I understand college exploits them, but you got to be smarter about it. You got to go back and get that education if you can.
Yeah, I dig that. I think these cats will be, in terms of finances, these cats are making more money than any NBA player has ever made in their life. So even if they're injured, and I'm not wishing that on anybody, but even if they're injured, I think, the insurance that they get along with their contracts and the guaranteed portion of their contracts will have them in a place where they can potentially recover. What I'm gonna say though is this: I just hope the injury bug doesn't hit us, because if y'all hadn't noticed, the Knicks have been relatively injury free of serious injuries. You know what I'm saying? No real broken bones, like no broken legs, no torn ACLs. The only person that was probably injured that's serious is Damian Dotson with the shoulder injury. And it's a shame because Damian Dotson, it just seems like unfair to him that he never got a fair shot in New York, because he was always about 65-70% on the court.
Yeah, same with Porzingis. Porzingis is probably the last one that got really, which is working out in our favor, because it looks like Dallas's picks are going to be a lot lower than expected now, with Porzingis being out for the first portion of this year.
Right.
We pray for all players to be healthy though. Like, you don't want to see them constantly get injured. That it's bad.
No, I'm happy to see Porzingis injured, because just as a person, he is not. Porzingis just as a person, and all the rumors you hear about the stuff he's done in the city, and then just how the way he treated when he was with the Knicks, about how you took a year off and we're getting paid, and then as soon as you start sniffing to come back healthy, then you come in and you put in a trade.
Right.
And
hey, y'all subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, get those subscriptions up.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hey, because the YouTube algorithm is saying that about 36-37% of y'all jump in and really enjoy it and stay and watch for a long time. I think that the average is like maybe right at 2 hours, which is a long time to watch a YouTube joint, even though we stay on for more than 2 hours. But that means of all the people that come in, of all the, say, thousands of people that come in, say 1,000 people come in, you're talking about 360 people just stay in at some point, stay in for like 2 hours, but they don't hit the subscribe button. They search for us. They legit search for Joe Madden and Teddy. They legit search for Lawrence Tears, but they don't hit the subscribe button. Man, stop playing around. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel.
Come on, guys, hit the thumbs up.
Yeah, and it ain't just for us. Y'all want me to? Because I'm gonna get into my infomercial thing, yo. It ain't just about us. I mean, just how we found Teddy, how we found Shea and Joe Madden is because people are like legit looking for this Knicks content, and so they found this thing and they found a home. This is their bag. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe, I bet Joe will have a thought during the day, and he legit like I'm gonna bring this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about this tonight. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with Teddy. Like legit, I'm gonna talk about this tonight when we open the mics up. You know what I'm saying? And the dopeness of that is that y'all always get good takes from everybody when we come on. So hit that subscribe button, man. Like the channel. Hey, and it do good for Shay too, who clearly ain't used to being on joints like this, but she be wanting to get on here and get it in. You know what I'm saying? Help her with that confidence too. We all had to go through that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this thing on? Am I really on? Can people see me? You know what I'm saying? We want people all around the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my man, J Tran, D Chan, everybody, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, hit that subscription button, hit that like button.
Smash that like.
Yeah.
Man, so like, we ain't gonna be the little fellas no more because YouTube analytics already showed me a thing where this channel is growing faster than any Knicks content creator except people that search for the New York Knicks directly. We at 14. We at the New York Knicks is at 47%. We at 14%. This right here that y'all watching is at 14%. Every other Knicks content creator is in single digits. We legit blowing this thing out of the water, growing like wildfire. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. So hey, Shay, you got. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Miss Shay. What you going to hit us with? I guess she jumped off.
Gone.
That scared her off.
Shay was like, "Yo, I didn't know it was like this. I'm gonna go start my own channel." All right, hey, go ahead, Joe.
What was I saying? No, I was just saying about Porzingis. I was like, with him, the way it's looking with him and his injuries, he's never going to stay healthy in the league, ever.
He's got to be on load management for sure.
He has to be. And you know what? I was happy the Knicks did trade him, even though, and look, what was I going to say? We don't know what the picks are going to turn out. We've already seen what DSJ has turned out, but I didn't want to have to pay him the $30 million he was looking for to be on load management or to be hurt, especially when this team can't afford to have a guy on load management.
Right.
So it was a good move moving on from him. And then just the person he is, I've watched a lot of interviews and I've seen a lot of him, and he's a very arrogant guy, and he felt like he was too big for the Knicks. And even though the Knicks suck, how can you be too big for the Knicks? It's a $3 or $4 billion organization. And
right. Well, the thing with Porzingis was crazy, but our young core though. So we have this young core, right? Mm-hmm. And while I think we're in the infancy stages of watching this thing come together. You know what I'm saying? Like the very early stages, like we legit are focused on RJ and Obi and maybe some Mitch, but I think the fact that Quickly is going to be a piece and Spellman probably be a piece. You know what I'm saying? I think we have time to watch these cats develop. Jacob Evans too, if he's here, if we legit keep him around and have him develop. I think him and Miles Powell and some others will probably, you know what I'm saying, develop our young core going forward. All we have to do is play out these 72 games, go in the bubble, be respectful, and get in the draft and add another piece. And Art is saying, get DSJ and Brickolina off our team. Hey man.
Yeah,
he knows how I feel about Frank. It's beyond show and prove. He should be walking the plank right now. Like if you don't do something to save your life, you gone.
Yeah. And And I think Knox is going to have a good year this year. People are writing out Knox. I'm like, what Calipari said when Knox was drafted, you got to give the kid 3 or 4 years because he was a young kid, late bloomer. Like as Calipari said, it was like the kid wasn't even shaving before he got into the NBA.
Right.
It was like the kid needs time, and then last year was a bad year because he was put at the bottom of the bench. He wasn't playing. You had all these vets ahead of him. You had no development staff. You have coaches that you had a bad front office. You had bad coaching. This year, I think not this year. Next year is going to be Knox's breakout year because you're going to have to give him a year to get with the coaches and get working. But I've heard stories that
and know his role.
Know his role, yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, Knox has that like Brandon Ingram style play where he can be a top 3 level scorer. It just has to come out yet. And remember, Brandon Ingram, it took him to be his 4th year before he started showing what he really was. Because with the Lakers, he was kind of like what Knox is now.
They gave up on him, actually. Shit, if you want to be
they gave up. They moved him. Yeah, big mistake.
Right.
Like the guy was an all-star. Like he was the first guy to become an all-star in his rookie contract.
You're right. I haven't think about it like that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No. Do you think B.I. wants to go back to New Orleans? Let's be honest.
I think he'll go back, and then maybe in a year or 2, if he wants to go back to a big market or move on. I think because Zion's there. If Zion wasn't there, if they didn't draft Zion, then he might want to move out. But the thing is, all these guys signed a rookie extension with the team, and then a year or 2 later trade out or look for a trade. Like Tatum signed, Donovan Mitchell signed. Like because Donovan Mitchell might want out in a year or 2 too. So you got to see. But I'm not holding out for any of them guys. I think no matter what the offer is,
right.
I don't think they even made an offer for Ingram, to be honest, because they have to have the money in place so they can make an offer, and they spent the majority of the money. So I don't think there was an offer made. There could be a sign and trade, but I just don't think that. I don't even think they have the pieces for a sign and trade, to be honest, unless they give up picks, because New Orleans isn't going to want Randall back.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I like the Westbrook deal. The thing with Brandon Ingram, I'm kind of iffy on. Like if something happens and we get quality, we'll if we get quality in return for what we pay, then I'd be okay with it. But I don't want to see some mess like RJ, Mitch, Knox, 2 firsts. You know what I'm saying? Next year.
No, it's not going to be that, but it's still going to be a price because you think you have a 22-year-old all-star and hasn't even hit anywhere close to his prime yet.
Right.
That's why the price would be so much. But I don't think it'll be RJ and Mitch. I think it'd be like I think more or less what they'd be looking for is picks.
Right. Well, I'll say this, man. I'm a Duke basketball fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see paying that much for Brandon Ingram. You know, I would rather, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I would rather get your Jalen Green, let these kids play out, and then get your Jalen Green next year and just rock with that.
What if we're not even in the lottery next year?
We'll be in the lottery if you don't get Westbrook. If we get Westbrook, we're out of the lottery.
Yeah,
that's just as simple how it is. If you get Westbrook in here, you're going to the playoffs. If you don't get Westbrook, then we're going to be at the bottom.
What's our lineup next year? What's our lineup this season coming up if we do get Westbrook?
If we do get Westbrook, it's going to be Westbrook, River. I go Westbrook, Rivers, RJ, Obi, Mitch.
Rivers want to play the 2.
Yeah, where Rivers played the 2 in Houston.
I know, but not starter though.
Yeah, he'll start at the 2.
So I entertain that question. I think the lineup would be Westbrook, Bullock, RJ, Obi, Mitch.
I wouldn't. I'd start Rivers over Bullock.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'd start Rivers over Bullock, especially or he already has the chemistry too with Westbrook in Houston. So I would have that as my back too.
Hey, yo, shout out to Sophisticated Films TV. Yes, we are still up, man. We live for this. When we say we hardcore, that means we hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I mean, we could probably legit do 24 hours a day with Knicks. Not all with the same people, but we could probably legit do 24 hours Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because our fan base is so big and we all have like these diverse schedules. I mean,
I'm sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah. But with that said, I gotta get out of here. I gotta bounce.
Yeah,
Right.
it's late.
But I do wanna say to y'all this. I'm gonna jump on, man. This is 11:45 every day, 7 days a week, 365. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We love the fact that y'all animals, y'all come in here and do y'all thing, man. Some of these people in here, you know what I'm saying? I'll be seeing these names, man. I'll be so excited, get so pumped up. Man, I mean, it's crazy. And it's not just the panels to chat too. Y'all smash that like button. Smash that
like button
the channel so we can continue to grow this thing. Hey, the bigger we grow, the more I get to brag on y'all. I'm not bragging on Uncle Freezy because look at my mug. I ain't the prettiest thing in the world. I be bragging on y'all because y'all be coming in here standing in the middle of the night. It'd be like 70 people be in here sometimes, 100 people be in here sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And all we doing is just chatting about Knicks.
And don't let Westbrook get to the next war.
Yeah, man. Boy, hey, Teddy, I want to talk to you about something, man. We're gonna get off. So if you can hang around for a split second, man, I ain't gonna hold you too long.
Okay. All right, guys, take it easy.
Joe, you an animal, dog. Joe, you an animal, guys. Man. Hey, so I'm gonna hit you, Joe. I'm gonna hit you up with Joe Dip. God dog it. Joe fan, he's sleepy. But anyway, hey everybody, peace out to everybody, man. Y'all subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and I'll holler at y'all later.